Hello and welcome to BFFs Wine and Tell, our spicy, saucy, and sassy podcast on life and its many myriad experiences.
Told through the eyes of two besties who have probably seen it all.
Love, heartbreak,
Success, failure.
loneliness, companionship, you name it.
We talk life, but we make it light.
So come along with us on this journey. You will laugh,
You may wipe a tear or two.
but you'll most definitely say,
Oh man, I can totes relate to that.
oh, by the way, what's your color of choice?
Huh?
Wine, I meant red or white. Bring a glass or a bottle along, babe,
And grab your bestie.
because the fun has just begun. So like, subscribe, and share with your besties. Cheers! Hi everyone, and welcome back to yet another saucy, sassy, and spicy episode of BFFs Wine and Tell. My BFF.
I love the way you said spicy. You should say it more
More
often
often?
like that. Yeah.
Spicy.
Yeah. What
Okay.
you're wearing is also very spicy.
Okay. Let us not draw too much attention. All right. So, as you know, in this podcast, my bestie and I, we talk about all kinds of topics and issues that are close to our hearts. We feel that we have undergone a lot of life experiences and we are honest and outspoken to a fault. And that allows us to talk about these things, very openly. And hopefully you have enjoyed this journey with us thus far with your glasses or bottles of wine or whichever poison you choose
You would
to.
have finished one bottle by now.
I mean, we have done so many episodes by now. I don't know
How
you
many
know,
bottles you've
Yeah,
got?
like seriously, like where are the wine sponsors at, right? Hint, hint. Okay, ting, ting, ting.
Good one, partner.
Cheers. What are we drinking today? We're drinking some Sauv or something like that. Some bubbly. Okay, never mind. The sponsors haven't found us. We're not going to name any. Ta-da-da. We are financially savvy like that.
Yeah.
Financial savviness for women is also one episode we are planning, so stay tuned for that.
So what are we talking about today?
We're talking about her favorite topic,
Yes.
which is finding your tribe and, more importantly, keeping them.
My tribe.
Yay, spicy. I'm going to keep saying spicy today.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think for those of you who are new on this journey with us, so welcome. How did we meet? We met many years ago. We are very young. So obviously we met as kids, joking. We met in 2009 in Singapore when I had just moved here. And I was I love dance and I was desperately looking to make friends, and not that the wires sort of matched in my head at that point in time, but like I realized that I just wanted to learn dance. And like I walked into a dance class and it was her dance
How
class.
did you find the dance class, by the way?
Google?
Oh,
Yeah, Google was there. Yeah, okay. So, and I walked into that dance class and I walked out exactly 15 minutes later because I couldn't keep up. It was so high energy. It was a Bollywood dance class. It was so high energy. And of course, I didn't expect it. I didn't have any water with me or any towel to mop my sweat. So I was like huffing and puffing like all due respect, a buffalo. And that's how we met. And then we became friends, and then we went through lots of life experiences, some good, some fairly tragic, some spicy. And then we became besties somewhere along the way. I think she asked me out to be her bestie.
no. Okay, I'm going to step in here.
By all means.
The word best friend makes my skin crawl because I've had so many bad experiences when someone becomes my best friend and then they're like, do me wrong. So I've never called anyone my best friend since I was...
You had someone... I cannot say the full name. So I did No? Okay.
No.
No, okay, you had pictures of her, what? I had one best friend every year in school, okay?
No, I've never liked the word best friend.
Okay.
It's either the best friend finds some other friend to be their best friend and drops you, or they just
Like me.
do you bad. or they just do it back. So I've never called anyone my best friend for like a good 20 years.
You know, we have only had one fight.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we had multiple.
Okay.
Especially when I was
Clearly, we're on the
pregnant.
very same wavelength. Okay.
Especially when I was pregnant, all the hormones.
No, those are not fights. No. Okay, so today's topic
What
is
was the
really...
one fight about? Just curious.
I remember I once walked out of a dance class because you said something.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Clearly. Meet my best friend.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So we're going to talk about really, really finding a tribe has been very, very important to both of us because our friends are very important to us. They're really like the family we chose. We try and meet up at least earlier back in the day. We were just talking that, we used to party together when we were younger, like 3 days a week, right?
It's 4 days a week.
Come on.
4 days.
Did we not have work?
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Sometimes Monday also. Like, yeah, let's go Monday.
We had work.
Yeah, we
all
had
of us
work.
did.
Okay, we were getting paid shit, so therefore we had to do very little work. No, but seriously, we are still as thick. It's still the same group of people. Some people have moved to other
Not the
countries,
same.
etc. Some people have left the group, but essentially we still try and meet at least, I'd say, once in 2 weeks. We do dinners together, etc. That tribe is very important, and there is statistics. Don't ask me to quote my source, but if you have thick girlfriends, you will live longer. You will live longer if you have real good girlfriends. If you don't, you will just have to get a lot of Botox and you will just look old. So the reason why we look the way we do is because we have each other. Agreed or not? I don't know why you're laughing. I don't know why she's laughing. You check the facts on it.
Botox, she says.
I'm not against Botox. I'm fully supportive of Botox, but I'm saying we are happy because we have each other.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Look at the number of times you're laughing.
Yeah, exactly, right? So get your tribe. It can be, mix and match of genders. That's not a problem. But essentially, we're going to talk about 3 kinds of tribes today. Your friends tribe, your professional network, and what she's very good at, which is essentially building an entrepreneur network.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the friends tribe first.
Friends tribe. How do you find friends tribe? I would say there is no special secret sauce to finding friends. You just have to go through the highs and the lows of having all kinds of friends. Sometimes friends that you have known like over a decade will turn into like some other psycho on the 11th year.
Ouch.
And you should drop them. See, I remember watching this episode with Oprah and
Gail.
Gail.
You think we are Oprah
No,
and
Michelle.
Gail? No,
Michelle Yeoh.
Oh, okay. She
Oprah and
thinks we
Michelle.
are Oprah and Gail.
Well, yeah, we are.
Who's Oprah? Who's Gail?
That is a discussion for later.
Okay.
So there was an interview between Oprah and Michelle Yeoh, and they were talking about how Michelle Yeoh admires Oprah for having these gatherings at her kitchen table.
Yeah.
And she asked Oprah, do these friends that gathers at a kitchen table are always the same friends? And she's like, no, it's like there are friends for every season and reason, and not all the friends that gathers at your kitchen table
The same.
lasts forever, right? Just in and out. And at that time, I was going through a really heavy breakup with a friend that I couldn't get over. And when I watched the episode, I was like, yeah, and that healed me. And that's when I found out that it's okay when some of your friendships don't work out. It's not a forever thing. Nothing is forever anyway.
Breakups with friends are equally traumatic.
It is.
Or
You
more.
know what I went through.
Yeah, there's so much dramatization around romantic breakups, and there are no talks about when friends break up. Your life falls
It's
apart.
hard.
Our social structure of going out, of like Sunday brunches, all of that, like hanging out,
Yeah.
secrets,
Yeah.
like borrowing clothes, all of that is all built around friendships, right?
Yeah.
Especially for girls.
Yeah.
When that breaks,
Yeah.
that breaks badly.
Yeah.
And no one talks about that,
Yeah.
right? So,
And I can see a superficial friendship from far. Like having
Yeah.
gone through so many kinds of
but that we didn't see though.
friendships. Huh?
We didn't see that
You
one.
can see that. But having said that, the kind of friends that we have among ourselves, like recently when my daughter went to A&E and I was alone, my husband was traveling, I just had to call one of y'all up. It was like about 11 p.m. or almost midnight, and the next second I know is she was there in A&E with me.
Yeah.
I mean, how many of us listening can say that we have such a friend or a tribe.
That's a real tribe. Yeah, I didn't sleep that night.
Yeah,
I was
waiting
bawling
up.
my eyes out. I was like, if anything happens to
You're
that
waiting
child.
up for updates, kept messaging me. Checking up on me. Your husband came and in the morning to
he
breakfast,
was so worried.
take care of the baby. I mean, that really made me feel so grateful that I found my tribe.
Yeah.
God forbid if anything were to happen to our tribe, this would be the worst breakup in my life ever.
Yeah. I think it took me a while to find that tribe. I feel like I had tribes before. It was superficial. It was nice to party with, but it didn't go beyond that. You could sense that when you took a trouble to them, the litmus test of a tribe is, if you take a trouble or a problem to them, do they stay or do they flee? That to me is the litmus test. When it is boring, do they say a one-line sentence or are they willing to go into the trenches with you? If they are willing to go into the trenches with you, stay.
Exactly.
If they are not, leave.
Exactly.
Because it's not worth it. Like you can have party friends. We all have party friends. We all have party friends, right?
All the time.
Yeah. But those party friends don't know jack about my life.
Yeah.
They don't know jack about the plans that the two of us have.
Yeah.
We have those plans written down. We have probably in a little while we'll have financial modeling done on those plans, but those friends will never know about those plans because they don't deserve to.
Yeah.
Right? So keep your tribe tight. Do the litmus test and of course find them first. Do the litmus test and keep them tight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's okay to take your time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fine.
That's not the hurry that you should be in. And with age, I think what you said yesterday when we were having dinner, when you said the 5 people rule, I somehow decided on the 5 people rule when I turned 40. I know I absolutely don't look it, but thank you very much. My migraine specialist. Yeah, I mean, I'm not against Botox, guys. We'll talk about Botox actually.
Okay.
One episode. Let's talk about Botox.
Yeah.
I think it's a bringer of joy.
Okay.
B
Move
is
on.
bringer. Yeah. So it's when I turned 40, I realized that I actually only want 5 important people in my life. The rest are all good to have. I'm very grateful for them.
Yeah.
But if you can have 5 people who genuinely care for you, you are so privileged.
Yeah. Sorted.
You're sorted. If you don't have 5, do you have 4?
Yeah.
If you don't have 4, do you have 3? That is very important,
Yes.
right? Okay, so I want to move on now to what is your area of expertise, which is building a community or a tribe around for entrepreneurs, which is such a lonely journey, no? So how do you do that?
So when I first started off, I remember that I didn't have anyone by my side because when I took over the business from my predecessor, everybody left with her. And no one...
I mean, we stayed.
Huh?
We stayed.
You're were people that I built from scratch. So I would say that it was a very, very difficult and lonely journey, but I kept at it because I think what helped me a lot in building that tribe was just being genuine and true. Because when you fake it, people know, people can sense. And when I was just being myself, it's either you like me or you hate me. So
Mostly they like you, I think.
Huh?
I think it's 80-20 ratio. 80% like, 20% hate. Concealed hatred.
Yeah, I have no filter when I speak. Sometimes that's the death of me, I'm sure. But that's how I built a very genuine and loving tribe. Because even till now, when someone walks into a class or walks into an event, my existing tribe welcomes them with open arms, and sometimes the person new feels quite overwhelmed, like, oh my God, what's this? So I think the most important thing is just being genuine and being yourself. Is so important. And also being invested in the other person's life or their likes, their dislikes. It's very...
And their success,
even failures, you can tell by someone's face if they're feeling happy or they're feeling drained. Just be invested in how they are. Like, it doesn't... Sometimes in my head, I'll think of this person and then I'm like, oh yeah, it's been a long time since I got in touch with the person. I just message, say, how are you doing? That keeps you in touch.
Yeah.
Just as a WhatsApp message, it's like just 5 seconds to send it. If someone just crosses your mind, don't dismiss it. They crossed your mind for a reason. Just reach out to them and just message, and that's how I think I've been building my tribe and community.
You know, one of the best things about you is I think you're one of the best networkers I know. Like, had you been in the corporate realm like me, you would have been a master networker. Like, even now I see you work the room like no one else.
You think so?
I think so. And it's the best part is a lot of professional networking from where I come is very fake.
Yeah.
And I'll talk about it in a bit, right?
Yeah.
I don't do it. I do
I can't do fake.
Yeah, you don't do fake, you do very genuine. I remember I've been to so many of your Tinted Whatever sessions. I love how genuine it is. I remember being to the one after my first career chats, and we'll talk about it in a bit. I loved how genuine everyone was, how invested in each other's success they were. They didn't need to be. They didn't need to swap notes on how they could collaborate, or how each relationship, each business relationship was actually symbiotic. They could actually gain from each other, but they could also benefit each other, right? It wasn't like a one-way street. I was amazed that that's the beauty of Tinted Whatever. They are not parasites.
Yeah.
They are not looking to gain only from each other.
Yeah.
They're also looking to benefit from each other. So they're like, oh, you're having an art exhibition. Why don't I come and help you set up? I can be your logistics. So that is the community you have successfully built, which is why I think of you as the master networker, right? You are like, oh, you have this company, you have that. Hello, golden handshake.
She's complimenting me a lot.
You just call me pretty, right? So I have to give it back.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. So, ladies, it's always, that's where I'll just quietly segue into professional networking. A lot of professional networking from the corporate sector, where I've spent the last 20 years of my life, I don't know, I don't look in, but is bullshit. It's fake, it's transactional, but my advice to everyone that comes to me is, what is the value that you bring to the table?
No one is family when you're in the corporate world. It's man world.
It is.
Well,
so therefore, when a lot of people ask me, so I do these monthly sessions, they are completely pro bono, where anyone who wants to show up can come to these sessions and they seek the career advice. A lot of it is around networking. And I have 3 hot tips for anyone looking to network or to build a community. The first is, no one wants to talk to anyone in a room who only talks about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They're the most boring people at a party.
Mm-hmm.
People want to talk to people who are interested in other people.
That's also dating advice.
That's also dating advice, right? Second is, what do you bring to the table? What is the value that you are adding?
Mm-hmm.
Third is, what is the impression that you're leaving on people? Are you leaving a genuinely interested and interesting impression? Or are you just like, hi, here's my visiting card?
Yeah.
I have probably a cupboard full of visiting cards that I'm actually never going to look at.
Oh.
And I
exist anymore in the company also.
Exactly. And the same story with my DMs on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the virtual cupboard of
Everybody
visiting
should
cards.
follow you on LinkedIn.
Well, I mean, you could. But having said that, networking, the entire term came from the fact that it was a two-way street.
Yeah.
If you are not giving value, you are not going to get value.
True.
It is not an exchange of, hi, can I get job? I'm not even kidding. That is what most of my DMs very often end up being. Hi, do you have job? I mean, the grammar is understandably wrong. That is what my pet peeve is. Can you at least say, can you get me a job? I will respond to you. But like, so it's both ways. So look at creating as much value as you are asking the other person to give.
So true.
And always ask, why should someone so busy take out time to respond to you, right? One thing that you spoke to me about when we were discussing this topic, which I found very interesting, you talked about quality versus quantity.
Yeah. Everybody talks
Is it contentious?
Everybody talks about quality versus quantity. I'll just make this quick. If you are talking about quality, yes, it is important. But you can have quality within quantity. So you
How?
can have
Doesn't
five. Like 5 is your closest tribe that you kind of like have dinners over, you talk about your deep darkest secrets with and all that.
That's the editorial committee. That's the editorial committee of your life.
Yes.
Okay.
And then another 5 can be mom friends.
Okay. I'm not your mom friend.
No, you're not my mom friend.
What?
Yes.
I'm the godmom of your children. Like, I have to be your non-mom friend.
Fish. Okay, so there are 5 like mom friends, for example, and then there are 5 that are in your close business friends, like all the headaches of becoming an entrepreneur, running a business and all that, so you can have quality among all these different quantifiable friends that you have in your circle. I can't be talking about just business or just how my vagina is burning after giving birth to you all. You see, that's how you will react. Exactly.
Okay, so I have a slightly different opinion. I don't know if I have the energy to keep up with multiple tribes, but I do have the energy to keep up with multiple friends. You get what I'm saying? So
Right.
I don't have multiple circles. You are my circle. The three of us, four of us. That is my core. And then there is 2 or 3 other very special people that
Right.
get me.
Okay.
Okay, so I can brainstorm ideas with them. They get the professional side of me. They get the hustle side of me as much as, let's say, you do, because very few people get the hustle side of me like you do. Maybe 2, 3 other people.
Yeah.
And they help me broaden that scope, right? And that's about it.
Right.
I-
Because you don't have the energy too.
I
do.
She called me pretty and then she's like, you don't have the energy because you are so old. But I mean, see, the thing is, I don't see myself... I love my career chats. I want to give my energy to people because to me, influence is nothing without impact. When you
Correct.
get to a certain level, if you are not giving back, you are pretty much useless.
Yeah. Okay, change the definition of influencer. Really.
I mean, to me, it's impact, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a designation. It's about, someone wrote to me the other day. They said, in me as a manager, really long back, and I was 23 years old at that point of time, as probably his manager, he saw the qualities that helped him become who he is right now. That is the biggest award I'll ever get. The biggest award. I don't need anything else. That's impact to me. So if I can give that, when people come to these career chats and 2 months later they write to me saying it's because of that I aced an interview and I got my dream job, my job is done.
Oh, I can see a halo over your head right now.
I think it's time to wrap up. But having said that, ladies and gents, if you're listening, I think it's very important to remember that a tribe, you cannot go very far alone in life. You'll go very far if you go together. And that's why this episode, we thought of it. We said, why not talk a little bit about the elements of building a tribe, friends, entrepreneurs and professionals. We can talk more about it if you feel this wasn't complete. We can always do a part 2. Let us know what you think and bring more wine to the next session.
Or send us more.
Yeah, like where are the sponsors at, dude?
Cheers!
The pretty girls are signing off, yo. Thank you for listening and we'll see you back with a very interesting topic in our next episode. Thank you.